So that way inclined just means like Harry Potter's got his showrunner and director. Look, I don't personally care about this. Like it's not my cup of tea. I don't care. I don't think it needs to be readapted. But it doesn't really matter what I think. It's not. I'm genuinely not the audience. So here's a report with the Hollywood Reporter. It says Harry Potter series at HBO finds its showrunner and director, and it's in the Succession creative team, basically. So a good show. People really like Succession. It says HBO's long developing Harry Potter series has locked in 2 members of its creative team. The series has named Francesca Gardner as its writer and showrunner and tapped Mark Mallard to direct multiple episodes. Both are Emmy winners for HBO's Succession. Gardner as part of the show's producing team and Mallard as both director and producer. So what have they worked on? Well, Gardner, who is the writer and showrunner, was a writer and producer on His Dark Materials, also did Killing Eve, also did The Rook. Mallard has directed episodes of Game of Thrones and also upcoming second season of The Last of Us. So he also did some on The Last of Us. He also did the feature film The Menu, which is a really good film, actually. That's a great film. And he also did Showtime Shameless and The Affair. So he's done quite a wide range of genres. But the take home from both of these things is that they're both like in with HBO. So HBO know what they're getting with these directors and showrunners, and the directors and showrunners know what they're getting with HBO, which is actually really important because it's fundamentally something which you don't get with the likes of Disney. Disney doesn't. Disney's constantly trying to hire newbies, and that also, it does create a problem. That's why I'm guessing, anyway, my opinion is why they get so many creative differences. So, a few interesting things. So there's some sort of confirmation in this anyway. I think it was here. So it says Potter series, blah, blah, blah. It says this is going to be on HBO. And then, so it'll be on HBO, then it'll be on Max. So that's interesting. More eyes will get on it. And then it also, I can't remember if it was in here or it was on J.K. Rowling's tweet that she did about it. But she said and confirmed that Francesca Gardner had written a pilot for this, which is again another reason why this is going to be more positive, at least on face value, than the likes of a Disney Plus show, because they don't do pilots. So there you go. That's kind of the news and update. Everyone on Twitter, on J.K. Rowling's Twitter, seems really positive about it, which is a surprise because I was expecting everyone to be, the loud minority to be, shouting up a storm on her Twitter. But I mean, that's kind of it, really. That's the news. Culture. What do you think, mate? You're muted, Culture. Get your head in the game, mate.
Hey, I thought I demuted. Keyboard shortcut. Anyway, I think that this is incredibly positive. I think that this is part of a move that is bigger because at the same time they're doing this, they're moving the show back to HBO away from Max, which means they're wanting to make money from it because they actually genuinely make money from their premium television broadcaster HBO, which it looks like David Zaslav's leaning back into. This is one of 3 things that were publicly stated to move back. The people involved in this made incredibly good television in Succession. So I mean, you're going to have high-end, high-quality dialogue, which we don't normally get. You're going to have stories that make sense, unlike The Acolyte. You're going to be able to find out more from a world that I think a lot of people really are invested in. As a person who enjoys this world, whether it's in book form or in film, I would say that when you get to the theme park level, they need more stuff. This will help make out or build out new stuff. And
they're making loads of stuff anyway. There's loads. They've won another Harry Potter World at Epic Universe, aren't they? So
yeah, indeed. So I'm really quite excited about it, and feel like I feel like this is something that everybody's going to enjoy, especially Harry Potter fans. So yay for them. Yeah, and you're right. Yeah. This is one of those rare times when no one is screeching.
Well, it is quite unusual actually, because obviously J.K. Rowling is the sort of, I don't know, the target of left-wing ideologues due to her pro-female stance. labeled a transphobe, basically, isn't she? So it's quite fascinating to see not many people going at her on her Twitter. In fact, most of the people on her Twitter were like, "Oh, hey, this is great that you're heavily involved in this because it won't be woke," which is hilarious. But yeah, it was pretty bloody comical, to be honest. Nick, what do you reckon about this?
Like you, I don't know or care anything about this. I'm not a Harry Potter guy. I know nothing about it. I tried watching it once or twice, and I couldn't get into it. I don't know anything about this world or these characters. I know I hear about the J.K. Rowling stuff and all the drama surrounding all that. And I know, I mean, if this thing's actually going to happen and come out, and if it's going to, is she going to be involved? She's involved in it, right? J.K. Rowling?
Yeah, she's heavily involved. She interviewed and approved the showrunner and director. So she was the reason why these people were hired.
Yeah. So
heavily involved.
So the people that are kind of against her and her comments will probably despise that and probably boycott the show. And then the normal people out there that really don't care and just like the series, I'm sure will tune in and watch it. So hopefully, the fans of this will get something that they really enjoy.
Yeah. Tom, what do you reckon about this then? The whole Harry Potter series adaptation with showrunners and stuff like that. You watch Succession? Do you know anything about that? I mean, it's not something I've watched, but I'm aware that it's
I haven't, but I've heard
well
of it.
received.
The thing that sticks out to me most about this thing is that this show, the Lantern show, and I always forget what the other one is. There's like 3 shows they just announced that were no longer going to be HBO Max originals.
The Dairy Girls.
The Dairy one, the It one. Yeah.
No, they're going to be
on HBO proper.
HBO originals.
Yeah, they're not going to be Max anymore. They're going to be HBO originals, which is kind of a big deal. What that means is instead of them being streaming only series, they're going to actually premiere on HBO first. So there's more opportunity for them to be successful and make money and all this other business. So that is kind of a move that's against what the rest of the industry had done to this point when it came to streaming, right? So that would be like if tomorrow Disney come out and said, you know what, the next Star Wars show is actually going to premiere on ABC, and then it'll be on Disney Plus in a couple weeks after that. That's what they basically announced here with this. So that is a big deal. The fact that this is a big show for them. This is probably a make or break show for Warner Brothers, because I mean, it's Harry Potter, and this will be the first version we've had since the movie. So we'll have to see. Now we'll get to see if they'll be able to
TV version as well.
Yeah, to continue on from where they were before, or not. So
no, it's not continuing. It's a remake, complete remake.
Well, that's what I mean. If they'll be able to do it again or not, because otherwise, is it going to be a one and done? Like, is it of its time?
That's the interesting thing, is it? That's the interesting. I guess looking more broadly at the sort of philosophical element, how I know it sounds a bit wanky, but it's true. The sort of philosophical element of how Harry Potter influenced a generation. So it's this sort of storm in a bottle scenario which I don't know if there's been another thing which has actually had this impact specifically in pop culture. Whereas they released the books, they released the movies all alongside one another, and the cast of the movies, and thus obviously the adaptation of the books, grew up alongside the generation that were heavy fans of the books. I don't think there's been anything, because everyone literally grew up. Like if you side by side.
The closest would probably be like Twilight, I guess.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, you always had like Hollywood used to adapt books all the time, and you'd even have in tandem where they would be working on the movie as at the same time the book was being made, but not like with kid growing up all these years. Not really. Like this is the only time I can really think of it. Maybe a TV show. That's a different scenario though. But
yeah. Well, I I don't particularly care about this, quite frankly. I mean, I will watch it, I guess. It'll be interesting to watch. I'll watch one episode. If it's for me, I'll keep watching. If it's not, I can't really be bothered. I will check out of it. But
People
it's
are saying
fascinating
Game
stuff.
of Thrones. That's probably a good example too. Yeah.
No, not a good example, because the actors didn't grow up alongside the viewers. It wasn't the same thing. So there was.
Oh, you had a lot of
ages
young.
change.
You had a lot of young people on the show that grew up on the show, though.
Yeah,
Well, Arya.
Not the same.
I mean, I get what
Not-
you're saying, but we're trying. That's about the closest I can think.
Yeah,
of,
yeah,
really.
yeah. No, I get it. We've got some super chats about this, guys. So join in the conversation. Keep the lights on. Super chat. So Horseradish Power super chat at $2.53 says Harry Potter. Look at the Muggle world, then roll Dahl's Matilda, then look at Hogwarts, then Jill Murphy's the worst witch. Just saying. I'm gonna stick working on the story with ChatGPT based on the question: what if Hermione was the daughter of Voldemort? Sorry, he continues. Been getting some interesting ideas and will work on fleshing it out into an original outline. Let Warner Brothers make their series. I'm not interested. I can make my own entertainment. Thank you very much. The films do hold up on the big screen, mind you. Okay, well, that's a long super chat there, Horseradish Power. Thank you so much, my dude. That is interesting. It's funny that you're using ChatGPT as well. But anyway, that's still funny. We've got one from Lovely Six, super chatted $4.99, says some people are actually saying Harry Potter belongs to the public, not the author. That's how. Oh no, it's over here. Sorry, that's my bad. Lovely Six says belongs to the public, not the author. That's how much hateful, triggered they are about Rowling's views. I mean, they're wrong. Like they're absolutely wrong. It doesn't belong, and it's not the public's. The public doesn't own it, obviously. I think it's important to recognize, though, that fans rightfully do have an element of ownership when it comes to properties. You know, the stewards of a property have a sense of duty to the fans who make the property what it is. I think that's an important thing, actually, and I stand by that. Like Disney, for instance, and Star Wars, right? They are not doing their duty when it comes to Star Wars and serving the fans. But in a capitalist society, well, they're shit out of luck, aren't they? So,
well, and the funky part is the same people that would gripe about J.K. Rowling are the same people who are like, well, Disney can do whatever they want with Star Wars because they own it now.
Yeah, well, precisely, exactly. I mean, this is just the rank hypocrisy, isn't it? And the argument of, you know, the steward of a property has an element of duty to the fans is the point I'm trying to make there is that they have a sense of duty to the majority, not the minority.
Oh no, I agree with exactly what you're saying. I was just pointing out their hypocrisy. But yeah.
Oh no, I'm further adding to it. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I agree. We're on the same page. But yeah, so they have a duty to the majority, not the minority, and the people that are saying this crap are undoubtedly the minority for sure. So yes.
I mean, you also got to be able to try and separate yourself at some point from certain things. Like, I get it. There's some properties and movies and stuff that I just can't get into because someone's involved in them for whatever reason. Like Cosby is a good example now. You know, I got to ask myself, could I watch something with Bill Cosby now, knowing what I know about Bill Cosby? Maybe not. But in other cases, especially people that are working behind the scenes and stuff, you can kind of just go, you know what? You kind of got to just let some of that stuff go. Me watching this movie now is not going to change anything. So if you have that much of a problem with what J.K. Rowling believes, then either stop watching Harry Potter and reading the books, or just friggin' ignore it. Because I guarantee you that something you love was created or had somebody in the creation of it that you probably aren't going to agree with everything or all the things they did, or maybe even did some very horrific things at some point.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty certain Volkswagen, pretty certain they were pretty influential with the Nazis. So, you know, just
exactly a great example. And that's not even a person.
You like your
right?
Volkswagens, my guys? You're supporting Hitler, all right? Basically.
And that is the stupidest aboutism bullshit ever, right? Like, I mean, you can even get into like the more nuanced arguments about things like, well, should you be able to watch a movie like, you know, with so and so in it or this and so and so? Again, it's like, if you want to watch it, go for it. right? But don't
Oh, yeah, but
judge
these
me
things are
if I
ideal.
don't want to
Well, you're never
either,
gonna-
right?
you're never
Same
gonna change it.
same difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well, anyway, we'll move on from that. Good topic. We've got some other.